Every summer I prune this pear tree back quite a bit. We're going to be trying out this brand new pair of planted perfect pruners. I have several reasons why I want to prune this pear tree in the summer. One of the reasons is that I want to reduce the uprights, what I call water sprouts. They're just new growth for this year, and they're not going to be good for fruiting, and they're making the tree a little too crowded. If you look into this tree here, you can see all these uprights. They're growing straight up out of these branches. These tiny little spurs here, this is where fruit is going to set next year, and those I want to keep. But the ones that are just growing straight up like this back here, it comes all the way up. It's like 5 feet tall. That's not going to do anything for fruit next year, so I want to take that out. It's nice to have a very sharp, heavy-duty set of shears. Most of the shears that I've ever used have been cheap because I've been too cheap to get a good set. These were actually given to me to try out here on the farm, and I'm very excited to see how they work on this pear tree. Those are generally pretty tough to cut with just hand pruners, and that went through pretty nice. Look how clean that cut is. That one was a little thicker, so I did use 2 hands to put a lot of force on it, but it still cut pretty clean, pretty straight. Notice on this branch how I have a lot of really nice fruiting spurs, and then a couple of these that are just going straight up. Those are the ones I need to take out. If I remove a few leaves here, you can see how this one potentially is going to be a good fruiting spur, but this top part needs taken off. I do like how those pruners are basically all metal from the end all the way to the top. It's 2 pieces of heavy-duty metal. It does say right here that they are drop forged with high carbon steel for maximum strength and cutting power. Some of the branches on this tree are a little too thick, so I'm going to have to come back out when I have the hand saw. I'm going to get in the middle of this tree and cut a lot of those uprights out just using these hand pruners. What I notice already with these is that the pruners themselves, very heavy duty, very sharp, easy to control. I think a quality build as far as the metal, the drop forged steel. But just with this light use so far, the weak link I think is the cover on the handle. This could be easily fixed with some wrapping tape or the dip stuff that you put in. But straight out of the box, I love the pruners. I love how they feel. They're cutting beautifully, but that rubber part is so far the weak link for how I'm using them, at least. I'm going to have to come out with my handsaw and get a lot of these because, quite frankly, I just don't have enough hand strength to cut through some of these thicker branches. If I would have gotten out here in the springtime when those shoots were just taken off, then I could have easily cut through it with these. That would have been no problem. But now that they've been out here for a few months, the base of them are getting pretty woody. They're a little firm. These are high quality, sharp. I would have no problem recommending the planted perfect pruning shears to a friend. I might suggest that they, keep in mind that the handles, the rubber on the handle is not going to last. But because of how these are built, let's just pull one of these off. That metal goes all the way to the end. So even if the rubber on the handle is compromised, your pruning shears are still intact and perfectly usable. And besides, it says right there that if you don't love them, you can send them back. Out of all the pruners I own, I definitely would not send these back because I can get over the handle part. In fact, it's not that uncomfortable to use without the rubber on the handles. So I might just leave them bare, that way there's no failure point. I had to go to my little greenhouse to pick up my saw so I can finish this job. the blade's a little rusty, and I think that's because of how I disinfect this blade between uses, and that's by spraying it with bleach. I don't think I'll be doing that with the pruners because I don't think it's good on the blade. So I'll have to find a new way to disinfect. Wasn't going to get that one with the hand pruners. I've been working on shaping this tree now for about 6 years. I have a vision, so every spring and every summer, whenever I get a chance to come out here and prune, I'm working toward that vision. But you notice I have springs in my hand. The pruners are not the only tools that I use to shape these trees. Sometimes I use trampoline springs, and I'll show you how. Occasionally, I will use the springs to just weigh down the branches so that they hang a little lower. I can hang them multiple springs to add more weight. But in other cases, like over here, on this long, tall branch that I actually want to keep because I like where it's growing out and it fits in my vision, but I don't want it growing straight up. So I'm going to pull that down. I'm just going to hook a piece of trampoline spring on there. Can't really see it in the frame, but I'm just hooking over that branch. And I'm hooking a series of springs together. And then I'm going to attach it to a sturdy branch down here. Now instead of growing straight up, that branch is going to come out here and wrap around a little lower where I can harvest it a little easier. I really enjoyed using the Planted Perfect pruning shears, even with the slightly faulty handle grip. They are very nice pruners, and I wouldn't mind recommending them to anyone. Thank you, Planted Perfect, for allowing me to use these on my video today. And thank you, the rest of you, for watching this video, watching the progress of my pear tree in the orchard, and seeing the demonstration of a product that might be worth checking out. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Maggie shouldn't be in the orchard. But as long as she's supervised, I don't mind having her in here because she does eat the grasses in the orchard and keeps me from mowing every once in a while. Thanks, Maggie. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.